So who wins in a death match between Thor from the MCU and Thor from the God of War video game? Now this is a very interesting and difficult debate because the two characters are similar in many ways and yet very different. In some sense they wield the same powers. When it comes to the God of Thunder, God of War Ragnarok makes Thor more accurate to Norse mythology than the MCU. It should be noted however that the contexts for both portrayals of Thor are wildly different. In God of War Ragnarok, Thor's characterization is much darker than his MCU counterpart, but it is also more three-dimensional. So in this debate we are going to compare the various areas that will ultimately determine the winner in this fight. We are going to look at their strength, speed, combat skills, durability, feats, ruthlessness/brutality, to see who comes out victorious. Now starting with strength. Marvel's Thor has shown quite a lot of feats of strength. He was able to move the rings of Nidavellir, which is calculated to be moon-level strength. He also effortlessly destroyed Sokovia, which would require half the energy of the Tsar Bomba, as stated by the VFX artists and directors. Marvel Thor has also shown enormous feats of strength, such as lifting towering monoliths or punching beings of great power. His hits are able to send the Hulk rolling feats away. But he has also been bested numerous times in the strength department. He's not even the strongest Avenger, with Hulk being physically stronger than Thor. There can be no question that God of War Thor wins it easy in this point. He went toe-to-toe the world serpent of all beings. Jormungandr was the only being strong enough to match his strength. Their legendary battle was felt across all the 9 realms, and their battle at Ragnarok was so powerful that it splintered Yggdrasil, a construct that transcends space and time and supports all of creation with its existence. And he was able to send the world serpent backward through time before his own birth with a single powerful blow, a feat which even Kratos deemed as madness. That's a blow that was so hard, it broke space and time. His strength is so great that he was able to single-handedly slaughter the giants to near extinction, which means he had strength thousands of times that of giants. He shattered the head of the immensely durable Hrungnir the Brawler with a single blow, being also able to manhandle Kratos, who casually lifts up 9 realms with no sweat. There's no telling how anyone would calculate his strength. So God of War Thor wins in terms of strength and by just how immensely hard he hits. And secondly, combat speed. God of War made it a point that Thor used his lightning to aid him in his fights. He would blitz through enemies and could use the hammer for flying as well. Despite his massive size and overweight body, Thor has proven to be able to move at extremely fast speeds, with stupendous reflexes, being able to evenly match Kratos in direct combat and repeatedly catch Kratos off guard to physically manhandle him as well as easily react to Kratos' attacks. He's able to threaten characters like Heimdall, who is known for his insane reflexes in the game. He's able to increase his speed by fusing himself with lightning, moving so fast that you could think he's teleporting. MCU Thor on the other hand has also shown good reflexes, for example in moments like dodging Zeus' lightning bolt and throwing it back at him. Thor was able to spin Mjolnir at impressive speeds while spinning to fight frost giants. He also casually dodges the Hulk's attacks and counterattacks. However, his reflexes are not of much difference from characters like Captain America. He's shown to be manhandled by the Mad Titan and other characters with ease. He's almost frozen also when Quicksilver moves at high speed. Even though his reflexes are above human level, they are still less compared to that of Thor in God of War, as he's shown to keep up with Kratos and even threatening Heimdall, who possess insane reflexes. However, the Marvel Thor has Stormbreaker in his possession, and this gives him access to the Bifrost itself. We saw that Thor would attack Kratos years in the future, and he naturally needed the Bifrost to get to Midgard. Meanwhile, Marvel Thor traveled from Nidavellir to Midgard within seconds. However, MCU Thor have only used the Bifrost for traveling and has never really used it to his advantage in any combat. So in terms of speed, I'll have to say God of War Thor has better speed in combat. And thirdly, combat skills. By simply comparing all the fight scenes of both characters, it's clearly evident that the Thor from God of War has better combat skills to his Marvel counterpart. He's been known to slaughter all the giants in one go. Although Marvel Thor also came close to doing this, he still needed help from his friends. Meanwhile, the God of War Thor killed everyone in Jotunheim for his own pleasure and even fought the world serpent. The biggest deciding factor in God of War Thor's favor is that he was capable of going toe-to-toe with the highly skilled fighter, Kratos himself. He has also been able to beat Surtur at full power, with help from Odin, while Marvel's Thor was no match for Surtur. Although Marvel Thor is an expert combatant, he just doesn't have the enormous feats in beating enemies that God of War's Thor can boast. And fourthly, ruthlessness. When it comes to a deathmatch, both sides will need to be in a state of bloodlust, and in this regard, the God of War Thor is far ahead. He's a complete killing machine, who derives pleasure from annihilating species. His ruthlessness knows no bounds either, as he doesn't even show mercy to his own son, beating him within an inch of his life for failing him. In a hypothetical fight between these two Thors, the God of War version will use every ounce of power he has to put his counterpart's head on a pike. He did kill every Jotun without a hint of mercy. And fifthly, durability. Thor from God of War has shown insane durability and nigh invulnerability. As the strongest of the Aesir gods, he is able to endure attacks from the giants without much damage, which was most likely crucial in his ability to massacre them. During his fights with Kratos, Thor was able to easily shrug off powerful blows from Kratos with only little blood and no actual injuries, showing incredible resistance to blunt trauma. After being slashed by the Leviathan axe on the abdomen, Thor later got stabbed to the same spot by both Blades of Chaos and the Draupnir spear, but he showed to be more angered rather than hurted. On the other hand, MCU Thor also has insane durability feats. He survived the full force of a neutron star for several minutes as confirmed by the script. This was not just the insane heat and massive radiation, but the full force, since there was shockwave, proving the beam had blunt force too. Although it almost killed him, he gets almost immediately revived by Stormbreaker. He is able to endure a massive beating from an enraged Hulk while holding back against him. Thor also survives getting striked in the torso by Hela's necroswords. Next, Thor was able to survive Thanos using the Power Stone against him. And Thanos also wanted to make Thor feel pain. Albeit, he was extremely weakened. The Power Stone was able to destroy the surface of an entire planet by indirectly touching it. Thanos also used it to destroy the surface of a moon. Him surviving the Power Stone blast is a massive feat by itself. Thor is also able to survive in MCU space with no problem. And in the MCU, space is shown to instantly freeze you to absolute zero as seen in the death of Ebony Maw and also Iron Man's previous suit, yet Thor is shown to unscathed. Although the God of War Thor has shown super strength that far exceeds his Marvel counterpart, the same can't be said for durability, as it has been established this Thor has gotten wounded before. He also was deeply injured when the giant Hrungnir's corpse fell on him and was unable to free himself. Hrungnir's rock-filled skin fragments were also permanently ingrained in Thor. Marvel Thor has to win this, and we just need to point out the MCU version's feat in Avengers: Infinity War to prove. Thor took on the complete force of a star for several seconds to forge his new weapon and was regenerated very soon after as well. And lastly, who is superior feat? Even though MCU Thor has insane feats like taking the full force of a neutron star, almost killing Thanos with a shot through all 6 Infinity Stones, surviving the Power Stone and a lot more, God of War's 2 feats alone overshadows all that MCU Thor has done. 1. Hitting the World Serpent so hard that it sent him back in time, a blow so powerful that it broke both space and time. 2. Being able to go toe-to-toe with Kratos and even knocking him out with a single blow. Now that's an insane feat if only you knew how powerful Kratos is. So in conclusion, who wins between Thor from God of War and Thor from the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Well, from all the facts laid down, Thor from God of War wins as he is stronger, faster, more skilled and also hits harder. Even though MCU Thor surpasses him in terms of durability, God of War Thor surpasses him in all other important areas. So Thor wins. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more contents like this.